the forum for some questions. Okay, and then anyone interested afterwards could actually do a little tour with Samantha, and she could show you more of the ChampionsWay library. Okay, so while we're waiting for the questions to come in, I'm just going to show you a couple of different tips of what I went over this week, okay, for social media. So before we go into the questions real quick, this is what we went over this week for our social media tips. Was we talked about Google's May Day update. And for those of you that don't know about it, that's why you sign up for the library, because then you understand that Google has changed their algorithm. And that's something we went over. I'm not going to go over all the tips, but that's something we went over to make sure that school owners understand some of the things they should be looking out for. We also went over SEO and SMO checklist to review on how to make sure that your pages are optimized so that way you have good position. We also went over the consumer thought process of how people will find you. Research first, consideration, and then they'll buy. And then we talked about finding keywords to use for your products or services. And we've had a survey for our clients that they filled out as well. So that's the kind of material that we go over pretty much every week. Okay, so our first question. Let's see here. Should we become friends on Facebook with potential customers and students? Okay, Chin, 1,000,000,000%. Okay? Some people will say, oh, it doesn't matter. You must become friends with your friend. Put it this way, Sensei John, or Shin. If you don't, somebody else will. Somebody else will. Okay, next question. John from Cali. How does Polldaddy work? Can you give an example of how to use it? Sure. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so this is Polldaddy. You sign up, you make your own profile, and then from here you actually can set up polls. Would you be interested in a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program? Would you be interested in our 6-week summer special? And then basically from there, you actually copy the link, and then you put it into Bitly, all right? And then from there, you're able to track to see how many people actually click it. And then Polldaddy provides you with the actual rankings of what people actually said. Now, it's funny you say that. Let's see, here's one for you guys, okay? And this will be a perfect example of how it works. Here's the social media 101. Are you headed in the right direction? So what I'm going to do here, Datis, is I'm going to need you to copy this link right here, post it for me in the notes section because I can't do that. And this will be an example of how you could use Polldaddy. So Datis, if you could do that for me, please, that'd be great. If everybody could please just take a look at the link, that would be a great example of how to use Polldaddy. Polldaddy is excellent. It's another way of actually using things that will, get some interaction besides doing text or videos or anything. Polls are great. Discussions are good. So, Datis, if we can just copy that link and paste it in there for everybody, and everybody could fill out that poll, that'd be great. Okay, the next question. What is the difference between Perfect Mind and the regular mass program? Okay, Mike, well, a basic answer that I can give you is that Perfect Mind is actually the new software that ChampionsWay has built. I'm sorry, I will call it a platform rather, meaning that where the mass program was required updates, okay, you can continually build upon everything on Perfect Mind and build your applications. You can constantly keep adding on to it without having to wait for releases, and you can customize it to fit every need you could possibly imagine. It is absolutely amazing. Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I lost sound somehow, but I'm not sure. Datis, what did you hear? Did you guys hear me talk about the difference between mass and perfect mind. Okay, the difference between mass and perfect mind. Okay, mass, that's the version most people have been using for the past several years. Okay, and now perfect mind, the difference is that you could build on top of it. It's a platform. You can keep adding on top of it instead of having to work for updates, and you can customize your reports. You can make it do basically anything you want it to do based on the way your school is run. So you could change it, you could add different things, and it's a platform versus just a software application like everything else in the industry. It is just beyond its time. It is absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, and you definitely need to call and just get a tour of it so you can see just for your own eyes what it does. Matisse, I'm not sure. Did you get that link? Did you get that link posted in there for me for everyone to do that poll? Okay, let's try that again. All right, did you see if you can get that again right there? Thank you, Fallon. Matisse, can you copy Fallon's thing there and put that in the chat box, please? I'm sorry, in the notes section. There you go. Okay, Mark, can my staff member do the social media for our school form from his or her home? Mark, absolutely. It doesn't matter where you do social media, okay? That's not a problem at all. I mean, they can do that from their house. That's not a problem. Mike, what's Y-mail? You said something about taking your friends on Facebook into Y-mail, then into Perfect Mind. Can you show how? I won't have time to show how because I don't have Perfect Mind even on this computer. This webinar is solely. I'm sorry, this computer is solely for webinars. But what you would need to do is you need to open a Y-mail account, which is a Yahoo account. Okay, and then from there you're able to import your Facebook friends, right? And then from there you actually could go to a CSV file, and then you could take that CSV file and import it into Perfect Mind. Okay, the next question, Sensei John from Cali. Should we have different Twitter, Facebook accounts for different aspects of the business? For example, I have an after-school program. Should I have a different Twitter account? Sensei, I think we went over that yesterday, I believe. Samantha asked me the same question. No, the answer is no, you should not. I tried that again, for the School of Hard Knocks, multiple accounts. No, it doesn't work. You're better off having one Facebook fan page. I even set up ones for kidnapping prevention and stuff like that. And it was a good experiment, but I don't really think it was effective as far as driving everybody to one centralized page for branding, and just obviously just like managing. It's a lot easier as well. So that would be my answer to that. Having one Twitter account, one Facebook fan page is what I recommend. Paul, can you use Perfect Mind for student billing? Is it easier to import your students from Mass to Perfect Mind? Paul, the answer to that question is yes. That's not a problem at all. And the tech support team and everybody there will make sure that the transition is very simple for you as well. Lewis, how do I get potential students in my area with social area? Okay, Lewis, when it comes to trying to get followers, okay, in your area, the first thing, the number one rule we tell everybody is to start with your students. Now, if you have those students, then basically the best way to start out with is your friends. So that's kind of what a lot of people have been doing. Hopefully you're in an area where you have some friends at least, and then they will help you spread the word. The second thing would be the blog. The good thing with the blog is that the keywords, if you're really smart with the blogs, which we're not going to be able to cover in this webinar, but if you focus on on specific keywords in the blog content and also the title, okay, and then you also submit it to the correct directories and different social bookmarking sites, people will actually see some of the things, the content in the search engines, and you might actually be found a lot easier, so people will start finding you. And then the most important thing is that make sure all of your links, all of your websites and Facebook, Twitter, they all have like a link to your website. You want to drive everything back to your website, so that way people will be able to find you, and then you'll actually start getting people in your area. Okay, next question.